Hi, and welcome back to my Rug Hook and Talk Show, where we do more talking than hooking, it seems. So, okay, well, welcome back. I took off a day, and that's going to happen over the next couple of episodes. So I have a lot of things going on and entertaining and all that stuff. So, just go ahead and grab something. I'll give you a few minutes, and we'll settle in. I took my rug off the frame. It's on the floor, and I'm going to show you the progress that I've been making. It is kind of hard to see. I know when I watch somebody hook a rug, I enjoy the actual seeing of the hooking, you know, pulling up the loops and that sort of thing. Now, granted, this is a geometric that I'm working on. There is not much imagination going into this rug. It was my color planning for my room, so there wasn't a lot of imagination, unfortunately, and creativity, I think, that can go into it that's interesting for those watching. What I think would be interesting is just the fact that you get to see the progress of three very kind of muted colors come together to form a very pretty design, which is something I wanted to try for a long time, so you're getting the opportunity to see that. But my next rug, which I would like to add a lot more colors into it, not sure if it's going to be the welcome rug or I'm going to start something new, not sure, but I'd like to do more close-up of the hooking. So, you know, I'm going to be working on different angles so we can get that right, and so you can kind of watch me hook as I hook. Like I said, the fabric backing that I'm using for this was an MCG textile, and unbeknownst to me at the time I started this, this is better for like probably a 6 cut and under, which is kind of, you know, on the more narrow width of a cut, which would enable a smaller hook to go through easier and pull it up. So since I'm using rug yarn, it's quite lofty and kind of thick. I have to use a primitive hook, so it's causing me a little bit of, you know, challenge getting it through. So this will be a whole different experience with the next rug. Maybe closer to the rug that I hooked before, but I plan on adding a lot more fun colors and trying some new techniques out and just experimenting and having fun. So that's just something I wanted to throw out there to you. I've got my orange spice today. It is really, really good. Okay, one more sip. And we're ready to go. Okay, so for those of you just tuning in, I'll give a quick introduction. My name is Annette. I've been a rug hooker for 20 years. I'm also a member on Rug Cooking Daily. So if you ever want to send me a message or a private message, go to the website and you can look me up. And we have a group for those of us watching on YouTube and wanting to connect because we're lone or solo hookers. We have a little group on there, so go to the group page and you'll find us. We're the YouTube hookers, and you'll see the little icon of my horse rug, okay, my triangle horse rug. And just a little shout out for Betty Collins, who was also kind enough to put together a UK group, kind of looking to have a little interaction, also with some solo hookers. So I joined that group, and it's nice to hear what they're doing, and we could add to their dynamic or dimension of hooking by sharing what we're doing. So that's really cool, Betty. Thank you so much for inviting me and us calling out all the solo hookers on Rug Cooking Daily. That's really neat. I am going to pan this camera over to the rug. So let's take a look. I'm going to try to move slowly so as not to get anybody dizzy, because that does happen to me. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to try to get a really good shot of that. That is where we're at. Okay, I got a little shadow here, sorry about that. Let's see if I can get to another angle and see if I can. That's a little better. Okay, here we go. So there you go, that's it, and that's a pretty good shot. Okay, so that's what it's starting to take place. Okay, I'm going to slowly put this back so we can Sorry if it is absolutely going to be making you a little dizzy there. Okay, so sorry, getting really close up. How to get that in there? Okay, couldn't see where I was filming because that piece that shows you the little finder was on the other side. So that's where we're at. Okay, so I had bought that primitive little hook. Let me bring my little light over here. Has a little. Okay, so remember I bought this little primitive hook, which I thought was primitive, but you know what? Yeah, it's smaller than the hook I have. So the woman that I ordered it from was very nice and just offered to refund me for it, and if I could pass it on to somebody else. Unfortunately, I have no one else to pass it on to at the moment, so it's going to be here. But anyway, that was nice of her. And she was from, I'm going to throw out a little name for you. Please visit our website and our eBay store for more rug hooking products. She's at www.snapdragonframes.com and www.rughookershaven.com. Sue Ellen from Rug Hookers Haven out in Ohio. So shout out for Sue Ellen there, and she was very kind and tried to be helpful. Little confusion. I went to W. Cushing and ordered, asked them about it and told them that I have, you know, a coarse stamped Moshimer hook, and they were like, well, there is a primitive, so we'll get it out to you. So let's see, it's coming from Maine, and we'll see if that's just a little bigger, because like I said, I like working with yarn and wider fabrics and strips, so we'll see how that works out. So anyway, oh, okay, so I did tell you I was going to count. We have completed 27 of those diamonds here in, we got that much done. 27 diamonds, even the half diamonds, any space that was outlined, I counted that. So there was 27 done, and I have 38 left to go. So apparently I've got some hooking to do, because I don't want to be hooking this rug forever on this show. Not that I don't like it, I'm enjoying it, but you know, we want to move along and explore something else. So that's my game plan. Let me get this situated. I want to try to not have to move this, so I'm trying to get as many diamonds in the hooking area as I could without having to constantly move this. Okay, so we got 1, 2 here. That's okay. We'll fix it at another time to move it for the other diamonds. Okay, so again, this is an Anderson frame I'm hooking on. For those of you who kind of might have not caught the other shows where this came in, and I really do like it a lot. It's a really nice frame to work with. It's very easy. I have a little tendonitis, and so this has helped. I still love my other frame. It's over there holding some of my goodies, gifts, and it will still be used. So, you know, don't feel like I've just retired it. It's a great little frame, and I'm sure I will be using it again. And like I said, it's also good if you want to, you know, like even for something like this. I didn't think of it at the time, but even for something of this nature where it's kind of, you know, pretty settled, it's the 3 colors, it's, you know, there's not much thought that needs to go into it now, which again is a different, you know, dimension of rug hooking that you can enjoy. Is once it's done, it's, you know, it's all set, you're just enjoying the hooking process, which I love. But to get more imaginative and do something with a little bit more color to break it up if you wanted, you could, you know, if you had a second frame, start a little project and experiment. It just breaks it up, and and why not? There's no rule. Like I said, there's no rug hooking police come in and say, well, you shouldn't be hooking a second rug because you need to finish your first rug. Do what works for you. Always remember that. Do what works for you. So, so I'm working on the blue over here, and I'm going to grab some and get some of that going. So yeah, we have 38 of these little diamonds to go, including little half diamonds. And obviously, I think for the next couple of weeks, I don't know how much hooking I'm going to accomplish because of we're in the holiday season here, so we'll see. But like I said, I try to get in that 5 minutes, and it's enjoyable. 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever you could. I've come down here a few times and just hooked for 5 minutes, waiting for maybe the pasta to boil, and you know, it's all good. You get 5 minutes in, it's 5 minutes more of hooking that you've finished, and so it's all good. I hope you're still enjoying the show. I try to bring some new things to the show from time to time, and some things are just kind of, I'm addressing questions that we discuss on our group discussion, or things that are going on in the questions that are posed on the website. So yeah, that being said, I forgot. Fabric.com is sending me those samples for the polyester fabric. So I think it was Jerry or Carol, somebody sent in, and forgive me for not remembering, but there were so many questions going back and forth, so and answers, I get them confused sometimes in my head. But we were discussing about polyester, or if there was a polyester fabric backing that might have been available to us. And so I did a little investigating. Someone put an article on the website discussion area, and we came up with the fact that there is a polyester backing available to us rug hookers in Canada. So this Verel, V-E-R-E-L fabric, looks interesting, and it comes in much wider widths, and it's much less inexpensive than say a linen or monk's cloth. And I'm hearing that it's Betty's been using it, and she's said it's fine. And so this is something I'm excited about. See if we can get another option in there that's a little less expensive, that works just as well. Because obviously, yes, burlap is available, and like I said, it's all up to you, personal choice. How long do you want that piece of hooked rug to be hanging around in the universe? It's all good. If you want it to last forever, then, you know, absolutely go for linen. But if polyester is going to do just as well, well, my God, I don't think you can kill polyester either. It's pretty Teflon out there. So let's see. I'm getting some samples of a polyester burlap that's coming in. 2 different styles from Fabric.com. And we will check it out. If it looks like something I could hook on, I don't know how big the samples are. It's a swatch. I'll order a yard of each and see where we get. And keep hunting down that Verel backing. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's an option. And I'm all for keeping the cost of my hobby down. I don't have unlimited funds, so I don't think most of us do. Some of us do, and that's great. You can buy whatever you want. But for those of us who do have limited funds or have other things to do with those funds, I try to keep it frugal. I try to keep it thrifty, and that's where I'm at. I will buy stuff if it's at a very great cost. A very good price. Speaking of a good price, I hit GW the other day, and this was one of the remnants that came in from our goodie bag from Heavens to Betsy, so I just want to hold that there for a minute. But I did go to GW, which is Goodwill, little, you know, that's what we call it. That and Sally's Alley is Salvation Army. So this was a pair of wool pants, okay, and it's a little thinner than your thick, fluffy stuff. Let's see if I can see. It's kind of thinner, and this is very kind of thick. And actually, what I hook with is probably in between both of these most of the time. That's the wool that I get. But the point that I'm trying to bring out here is, even using 2 different textures, and they're very similar in colors, except the size. The pattern is much bigger on here. This is a very big plaid with the gold and black and blue in it. And this is the same color tone, but very, very tiny, if you can see. I don't know if you can see very well there. But my point is that you mix these 2 up, and you will have a great background. Why I kind of like brown for in my house is because obviously the dirt doesn't show. I do have dogs and had 4 kids, and everybody still comes over, and a granddaughter, and so I'm trying to hook rugs for my house to put on the floor that will be people friendly. That's it. That's all I could say. Eventually I'll do some for the walls and get them out, because I have a little lovely Tino Yorkie dog, and he's old, so things happen. He has little accidents, and I really didn't want to do that to my rugs. So I'll be putting them on the wall as I make them, and then eventually get them down again. So my point is, Goodwill is still a great place to find your wool. And the day after Christmas, which is the 26th, is a very big sale day for GW. Now I know you're thinking, Annette, really? It's the day after Christmas. Like, what are you thinking? Well, you know what? We need a break after Christmas. I do a lot of the work, a lot of the cooking, the gift buying, the wrapping, and all that fun stuff, like most moms do. But you know what? Think of it as a little fun gift for yourself the day after Christmas, to take that little hour to go to your local GW and just check out what they might have. I mean, you'd be surprised the great items. So the pants at my GW are usually $4.99, and skirts. So that was $2.50 because I picked a white fastener. I passed up anything in wool that didn't have a white fastener. I am super thrifty when it comes to that. So those were $2.50, and they're pants. They're men's pants. They were, nice long strips of fabric, and I thought that was great to kind of mix it in with a different texture than all the other wools that are very kind of fluffy and flannelly. This is more of a flat wool, maybe like a gabardine, a wool gabardine, but still has a nice feel to it. So I'm excited to eventually hook something with that. So yeah, that's about it. We're just still working on my geometric, as you could see, and trying to make it a little fun by counting the diamonds, because it can get a little monotonous. Even though it gets monotonous, there's still quite a joy knowing that it's waiting here for me, and in between whatever I'm doing upstairs, I jump down here and I hook a little. So it's all good. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to the next one, because this is quite a chore. If you've ever seen some rug hookers hook, they can hook, and myself in the past, if I've used burlap or linen, I can hook away. I can get some good rhythm going there and, really fill it up. But this is definitely not happening like that. So I'm investing a lot more time into this rug. And all I could say is I better love it when it's done. So that's, I'm sure I will. I'm already excited to see the nice, warm, cool colors, but it's just a warm looking rug. I mean, yarn just definitely gives you a different feeling. And that was another reason I wanted to work on a wool rug. I haven't done a wool rug, a wool yarn rug for a very long time. And I thought it would be enjoyable to also share with you how you can mix it up and, do the yarn with the fabric, wool, and see the different interesting effects that you can get, And like I said, what I'm going to do when it's completed, I'd like to give you a really good close-up, because if you could see the gray outlined areas in the fabric strips that I've done, it melts into the diamonds really beautifully. You can't see it on camera as much from that distance, so you know what, I will give you a close-up on the next show, or when it's finished, just to give you an idea. But it is so nice to mix the two, and I have a tendency, like I said before, to use fabric strips as outlines and then fill them in with some beautiful yarn. So that's something that I want to pursue more of. And if you the website did question, what are your dreams and aspirations on your wish list. like Heidi asked, and on the website. And so yeah, that's something to always think about while you're hooking too. It just it adds to your hooking experience to you know, and collect. I collect lots of pictures of rugs, other rugs, pictures of artwork, pictures of quilts that I've loved, color combinations. I just want to experiment more with that in the new year. So yes, I have lots of ideas floating in my head, and I'm sure you do too. And write them down if you want, or you know, keep a little folder or an envelope and, you know, rip out pages of any kind of inspiration, even if it's in your, you know, your home magazines or any kind of magazine. Just take it and rip it out and stick it in there. And next time you're thinking for a rug design, say, you know what, I'm just going to go into my little inspiration folder there and see what's available to use. You know, and that's always a fun, creative way to just experiment and see and try and add new things. And like I said, everybody sees something a little different than somebody else, and that's the beauty of why there are so many artists and beautiful artwork and crafts that are out there, because everybody contributes something a little different and has a different viewpoint on something. And I like that. Yes, you can get inspiration from others, and then ultimately you change that inspiration just a pinch and it becomes yours. You know, and everything's out there to be viewed and recreated in an artistic way. I mean, you know, take leaves for instance. I mean, there's probably 100 ways to portray a leaf in the rug hooking world. And then you've got all the different colors and fabrics and different ways to hook them, and abstract and impressionism and, you know, all that sort of thing. So, you know what? It's all good. It's all good to see more other people do things, and then you go home and you do your thing. And I love that, to see other people doing their stuff. That's always inspires me to try something new or try something different and just give it a try, like experiment, because, you know, I've tried things that are like, wow, that didn't work out the way I thought, and so I won't pursue that. Or you change it up a little, and before you know it, you've tried some new technique, or you've created some new technique with color, and it surprises you too. There's your reward too. You just became a little bit more creative than you thought you could. It's all good. So despite that I have nothing new to bring you besides my little chit chat, I'm getting closer to the end of my goal here with I'm trying to complete 2 diamonds a day. So that would be about, okay, we got 38 left, so I've rounded out to 40, you know, we're talking 20 days, something like that, give or take a day if I take off. So you're talking almost 3 more weeks of this, and I'm going to try to shorten that down dramatically, so we can move along into another area of rug hooking. I am excited because I think I would like to share with you some dyeing. I'm super frugal, and I used tea bags that I've already used, and I've put them all together. I've done chamomile, and the orange spice tea bag is great because it's got like an orangey brownish color. I've added coffee, old coffee that nobody wanted at the end of the day. I've dumped it all in a little container, and I stuck it in the fridge, and I have dyed, actually I dyed the wool for the horse rug like that, and I love that. And so now I'm experimenting with other tea bags. The berry spice is like a pinkish color, and so if you just want a hint of color, something very pale, something very soft, these are great ways to try it. Even green tea. regular green tea. You don't want to waste your Genmacha tea. If you do use your Genmacha tea bags, make sure you've already drank from them and use them up that way. But they all have a real, very soft, subtle, natural color to them. So take all your tea bags and throw them in a little Ziploc and stick them in the freezer. So when you're looking to do a little dyeing, you pull a few out, mark your tea bag appropriately, your Ziploc, maybe, you know, divide them up so you know what colors, or if you're into potluck, stick them all together and there you go. So that's something I'd like to try and go ahead and take for you upstairs in my kitchen. If that's something you think you might be interested in, you know, leave a comment. Otherwise, I won't pursue it. I don't want to bore anybody, but I think that would be fun. So you see, this one's orange and spice. So it does have this, I can't show you here, but it's in an orange, it's in a red cup, but it has a really nice orangey color. Very soft orange, nothing bright or harsh. It's very soft. So it would tone down another color maybe, or add a little bit more zest to something that's dull. It might brighten it up a little. So it's fun to experiment. I have a few pieces of white wool floating around, and I might give that a try. So again, I want to thank you for joining me on another show, and I hope that if I can help inspire anybody to do some rug hooking and keep it simple and keep it low cost, good. It's all good. And like I said, stay well, and until we meet again, happy hooking.